And okay, this training is going to be recorded on our YouTube. It's going to be uploaded there, so that even people who couldn't attend it in the morning can access it there, and they enjoy it, they learn more, because not everyone can attend in the morning, other people are at work. We are going to have series of trainings, giving out knowledge about some stuff. We want by the end of this year, when every one of us who started with us at the beginning of the year, when they are knowledgeable about the business, we want you to be there and you can redo trade settings, when you can reset, resume, pause, unpause. That's what we want. We want you to have knowledge about your business. Okay, because your leaders are busy and your downlines are amateurs. So take control of your business. Total control. Be there when you know how to set margin calls. Be there when you know how to check trades. Be there when you know that the coin is going to drop. You pause margin call or you change margin calls. This training is going to be recorded. My name is Kainda Usama once again. Every morning at 8:30, we have team building training and mentorship training. At 10 a.m., we are going to have a general training teaching about RoyalQ and trades. And at night at 9 p.m., we are going to be having a training, a presentation. So if you have your people, you want them to understand the business live, bring them on the Zoom at 9 p.m. every day so that they learn the business. Okay. Now we are going to have a training about margin calls. However, before I start my training, I want to remind you that on this 7th, we are having a super duper event here in Kampala at Coach Hotel, Coach Tower, opposite CPS. The security is very tight. We are opposite CPS. We are at the rooftop of the building. Even if in the whole city there is a lockdown, we will be there doing business without knowing anything going on. So the security is very tight. The place is very beautiful. It is super nice. Man, don't miss. Okay, don't miss. This time round, we have made the event free of charge. Invite your people. Make sure you attend in person. You as a leader, it will be a Saturday. If you are an employee, I want you to talk to your boss in advance. Today, sir, on Saturday, I have a very important event which I would like to attend. I really submit for a day off. They'll give you a day off. Don't tell your boss that I'm going to for a certain business summit. He won't accept you. Be very clever. So that you attend. So attend on that day. It's very important. In person, you come. In your downlines, everyone who registered the robot under your link, let them come. Everyone you show the business, let them come. Invite them. Okay. So let's start our training right away. We're going to learn about margin calls. We did this training on Saturday, but it was very brief. Margin calls is a very wide topic. However, every leader is going to teach this with in different ways. Pick your favorite, use it and practice. However, for me today, I'm going to do an explanation of it. I want you to understand margin calls. I want you to understand what is margin calls. Why are they important? What are they all about? The 3 types of margin calls. Those are things we are going to learn. We are going to learn. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share my book. I show you live. I do illustrations so that you understand it very well. We are going to even allow questions. Okay. Let's proceed. Let me share my screen. When in case my screen gets off, someone, you will mute yourself. Now you are not allowed to mute yourself, unmute yourself. Someone, you unmute yourself and tell me that my screen is off. Sometimes the network is very stubborn and the screen gets off. So this is my screen. Hope you are seeing it, friends. So this is RoyalQ. CFX. So this is my screen, and when I tap here, I tap, for example, cover. Let me tap GMT. I tap trade settings. I tap margin configurations. Now these are what called margin configuration. Margin configuration means, in other words, it's margin settings, or margin call settings, but it's margin configuration. On this side, we put drops, the percentages of how coins are dropping. On this side, we put money, how margins will drop. But before we go further, I want us to understand the science of margins. What is margin calls? Because people hear margin calls, when you post in a group a picture of your floating loss, people will tell you, have my margin calls. When you were there, you were seeing someone bragging in a group, hey man, I'm enjoying the business, margin calls at work. Then people are like, what is margin calls here? Is it a new robot? Did they bring the new robot? No, it's not a new robot, people. It's a trend setting. It's a trading strategy. In crypto, we have different markets. We have futures. The most common, we have sports. Futures market is when you can trade when the market is going up and trade when the market is going down. But it's like betting. Futures is betting. When you bet that the market will go up and it goes down instead, you lose your money. We don't do this trade because your account can go to zero, completely zero, see floating zeros. Then have sports. Sports, you buy low, you sell high. Simple. When the market goes down in sports, what do? You keep buying low. It's a matter of buying low and sell high. Now, RoyalQ Robot chose this market. Why? It is less risky. You can never find your money to zero in this market. It is less risky. This futures is high risky. Futures, it's like when you are trading Forex, you can really lose money if you're not knowledgeable about the business. RoyalQ is realized most of the traders are amateurs. They don't know the market and how it moves. So if it chooses futures, people will lose money completely. So it decided that let me trade spot. Now this is how spot moves. Now I want you to understand the market. The market it gets higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, higher lows. Because this low is not lower than this, and this low is not lower than this. That's why we call it higher lows. Then there is a moment when the market comes down. Okay, then the market drops. Now, when the market drops in sports, you keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. This is how the market moves. You get the point? Now, what are margin calls? The robot was designed that when the market is going up, good. But if the market decides to drop, the robot has a technology called margin calls. It starts buying on, it starts to buy on lower lows here, because this low is lower than this. This low is lower than this. This low is lower than this. The low once now this is a lower low. So the robot keeps buying here, 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 here. However, it has a possibility of selling here, 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 here. What are these? These are higher lows. Okay? Because this high is lower than this, and this is lower than this. However, it's a high. Why is it a high? It's higher than the lower low. Because this is low. The robot bought. But then the market bounced back a little bit. So the robot decides to sell. Sometimes it sells at a very small profit. For example, at 1%. I usually give it 1% or 1.3%. So you tell your robot, after buying my lower low here, if the market goes up a little bit of 1%, sell. Let me go to the real market. That was just an illustration. Let's go to TradeView. We choose any coin. Let me check my favorite coin. It's called the Kava. Anange Kava njagalo Kamala. Where are you, Kava? Kava is here. Kava has done it. Kava has done it. For the past week, it has been just going up. I have a friend who sold it at loss. I told him, don't. This coin will go up. He was very impatient. He sold it at loss. Sold it at 0.8. Now it's $1. Never sell a coin at loss, my dear friends. Never, ever, ever, ever. Look for money elsewhere. Don't put money in Royal Q for your emergencies. Yeah? Tokuteka sende mu Royal Q za trading nga tozokozesa ebirala. This is an investment, people. Don't eat this money. Otherwise, you will be at pressure. You sell coins at loss and you make losses, then the coins go up. Now look at this one. It had gone to $1, almost 1.07. But it was sold at 0.8 just a few days back. Never sell a coin at loss. Never do that. Get it? Now look here. We are going to look for lower lows, and we're going to look for higher lows and lower lows. Where the robot sells. Now these are day candles. One day candle. Now I want you to look here, friends. Look at this point. I think I need a pointer, and when I put a pointer, the screen is going to get off. I'll put it. Are you seeing my screen? Let me share my screen again. Now, okay. Let me look for. I said I'm looking for what? Where does the robot sell? And the market is dropping, yeah? Now, I want you to look here. Let's assume you had entered this trade at this level. All about? Okay. You entered the trade at that. Let me first remove these indicators. Huh? So you entered the trade at this level. Now you see that the market has been dropped up to here. The market has been dropping. Now, if you had margin calls, your robot would be buying here. There's the lower lows. You get it? No, higher lows. Those are higher lows. Because the next low is lower than them. Eh? Now, look here. The robot will be buying whenever the market drops. Whenever the market drops, it makes a lower low. It goes low. But market will wake. Okay? Yavudde wano market nekka nga robot egula n'erinyamu nekka nga robot egula n'erinyamu nekka ng'egula. Okay? So now, I want you to look here. As the market was buying here, the market went up here. So the market dropped here, then it went up here. So when it went up here, the robot sold. The robot did what? The robot sold. Then the market went down here. Then the market went up here. The robot sells. That is by margin calls. Then the market dropped. Then it went up. It sold. Then it went up. It sells. It keeps selling. It's right up. Sub-bin mode or sub-bin real-time settlement. I think I'm communicating, friends. Now that's how the real market. Let's look for another way when it happened so that we see it. Look at this place. The robot was buying margin calls. It bought here, the market went up here, it sold. Okay, bought here, the market went up, it sold. It bought here, the market went up, it sold. It bought here, the market went up, it sold. It bought here, the market went up, it sold. Kati robot, even if the market is going down, but the robot uses that opportunity to keep buying and selling for you. Am I communicating, friends? Am I communicating? Now, let's go to our book. I think if I explain this now, this is understandable. Everyone can really understand it. You get it? That the market goes down, the robot buys. When the market goes up, the robot sells. When the market goes down, the robot buys. When the market goes up, the robot sells. Just a little bit. Robot yetunda. Kategeregese. Kakati one margin calls was kolera. So I want you to understand these margin calls in your own language. Understand them in your own language. Now, margin calls they can be as many as 999 margin calls. Your capital matters. If you have enough capital, you can have a lot of them. If you have less, you can have small. So you can put any margin calls you can afford. If the market is let me give an example. If the market is dropping, you can decide to have a lot of margin calls. When you have money, of course, innocent. Or you can be like, for me, I don't have money. Let me do this. I only buy when it has dropped enough. No jigamba robot, buy whenever the market drops 8%. Because this is 8. Very big drop. You can decide that I only buy when the market is dropping big. However, I don't advise that a lot. Okay? I advise have very many. That's why I advise have good capital. No, you're saying take using the business. See, people are building other business. People have saloons. They look for loan. They do what they sell assets by building a business well. But people know if you have funny, they don't want to build their capital. When they start with $100, they stay with their 100 a full year. Can you imagine? I doing business. Probably you are joking. Some people are jokers, I guess. You start with $100. Do like no nacho for a full year. Why don't you look for money? Look for more money or build a team. That is the same thing, by the way, looking for money. Build the capital in any business. Less capital, less profits. You know that. Now, why don't you look for more capital? Now, margin calls have different types of trading. Today, I'm just explaining what margin calls are about. When you go here to the coin, you tap strategy mode. When you tap strategy mode, it will show you different types of strategy modes. These strategy modes are a matter of margin calls. The robot is asking, should we trade the whole warehouse? Should we trade the sub-bin? Or should we trade the sub-bin in real time? Now, let me explain these three. Wall, warehouse. What are these? When the market is dropping, the robot just buys, but it's not selling. Not selling these subs, eh? No, it's not. It is only buying. Now, when the market goes up, it sells finally. This is more profitable. Someone who's in whole warehouse, they'll make more profits more than someone in sub-bin mode. However, someone in whole warehouse might take long to close a deal more than someone in sub-bin. So at the end of the day, you might find that someone in sub-bin in real time is making more profits. You get it? Are you getting the point? Now, the only good thing with whole warehouse is this. Whenever the robot keeps buying low, the negative decreases. If it was negative 10, it will go to 8, to 5, to 2, to 1. So that means a sale may not happen at the same level where the coin started. Let's assume you entered this trade here. The robot has been buying low. So don't expect the robot to wait for the coin to pump up to the same level to sell. Osobola okusanga coin epampinze nekoma wano. Why? Whenever it was buying low, it was buying at a cheaper price. Let me use a layman's language, a layman's example. Let's assume you are buying soap. You are a trader, you trade soaps. Soap, sabuni, soap, what TV? Soap, sabuni, a bar of soap. Let's assume a bar of soap is at 3,000 per soap. You get your capital is 3,000. Okay, let's assume your capital is 30K. You decide, but you know what? Let me buy only one bar. I'll sell that. Then you are there, as you are seated in your shop, they call you, hey, now a bar of soap is at 2,500. You are like, hey, sure. You give your worker, get those 3,000, go and buy more soap. So when he takes 3,000, that means they will give him one bar plus like a small piece of soap. Because right now the bar is 2,500. Then the bar goes back to 2,000 next. Then you are there in your shop, they call you, hey, the soap now is 2,000. You run, you tell your worker, you know what? Go and buy more. I'm giving you 3,000. Whenever you go to buy, go with 3,000. Now, this time round, you will buy one bar and a half. Not so? Now, you are there. You know what? Now, one bar is 1,500. You're like, are you sure? you give your worker 3,000. This time round, the guy will come back with 2 bars of soap. You are buying, but you are not selling. Hey, 1 bar now is 1,000. You tell your worker, you know what's up? Go with 3,000. This time round, he will come back with 3 bars. Hey, right now, 1 bar is 500. How much will you come back with? Will he come back with? Now you give him another 3,000. Now this time round, he will come back with 6 bars of soap. Now, do you remember this bar of soap you bought at a higher price? Even if you decided to sell all your bars at once, you will make a lot of profits because you have been buying these bars at a cheaper price. Now, let's assume when they drop to 500, then the prices start to go up. Let's assume to 2,500. You don't wait for them to come back at 3,000. Even if you decided to sell your soap at 2,500, all the bars, you will be in crazy profits. Same thing with Wool Warehouse. The robot keeps buying at a cheaper price. The more it buys, the negative decreases. Which negative am I talking about? The floating loss. I say this return rate, the negative, whenever the robot buys, the negative decreases. So the robot won't wait for this price, for this coin to go up back here. The more this one drops, let's assume it drops to 2%. That means by the time this coin goes up 5%, you'll be out of this trade. But I can't get this up. This is Wool Warehouse. Now let's go to Sabobin. Sabobin is very simple. Sabobin means when I'm buying, when the market is dropping and I'm buying low, and the market goes up a little bit, I sell. I buy low. When the market goes up a little bit, I sell. I buy low. When the market goes up a little bit, I sell. I'm buying. When the market goes up a little bit, I sell. The robot will only show you profits when the whole deal is done, when it has sold the whole coin. You get the point? When it has sold the whole coin, then that's when it will show you profits. So in Sabobin, the robot won't show you profits until the whole coin is sold. However, it has been buy, selling, buy, selling, buy, selling, buy, selling down in the market. Now, what is Sabobin real time? Sabobin real time is the same as Sabobin mode. However, the difference here is whenever it buys and sells, it will show you your profits right away. That, sir, we have made $2. Sir, we have made 1.5 in real time. It will not wait for the whole trade to close so that it show you the whole profits. Are you communicating? So now, those are the trade settings for RoyalQ for you. So if you want to understand the sub margin calls in reality, that's how we set them. Okay. So today I first wanted to do an introduction about margin calls. Hope I'm communicating. Before we proceed, Chintu Simon is saying, what is no? Chintu Simon, what is that all about?
It was about the screen. It was about the screen, but now it's okay. Yes, but now it's okay.
It was okay.
Yes, now okay.
Friends, are we communicating with margin calls? So
yes.
I think now they are understandable. You understand. I want you to understand these settings. But when you are speaking Runyankore, ninkwenda ozitegere mu Runyankore rwawe. If nogamba Rutoro, now ozitegere mu Rutoro. Understand these things in your own language. Don't cram. Try. Me too, that's what I did. I understand these things in the language I dream in. It will be easy for you to do business because that's how the robot does its job. You get the point? It keeps buying low for you. When the market pumps up, it sells and it makes a profit. a very good profit. Now the question will be, how do I set margin calls? You set margin calls according to your capital. We have different strategies of setting margin calls. The first one, some people say 50, 50, half, half. Other people say 20, 80. Other people say 40, 60. This is the percentage.
Excuse me, Leader Osama, the screen is off.
Hey, the screen is off, eh?
Yes, Papa.
The screen. Okay. Some people say, let me repeat this thing. Some people say, now do you hear me very well? That do 50,
Yes, Papa,
50.
we are getting you now and we are seeing.
Do 50, 50. When you are putting your trade settings, do 50, 50. I'll explain this stuff. Others say put 20, 80%. Others say put 40, 60%. Now, what do this mean? When the robot was arranging its margin calls, this is what it did. Let's assume we are entering a coin called the cover. I told you I love cover so much. At the moment, it's $1. This is the level of $1. So we enter this trade, the market goes down. I see that's like it did the last 2 weeks back. Actually, last month, cover went down 1 month. Everyone who didn't have capital to buy it more, they felt bad because now it has bounced back again. When you understand these markets, by the way, you love this business. When you don't, you'll be in panic all the time. Why do people panic? Because they don't attend trainings. And we are very committed to do these trainings daily. Is my screen back? Let me share again.
Not
Someone
yet.
is calling, calling and the screen get off. So I was saying that now, this is how this margin calls, this is how the robot designed its system. That from the first margin call, this is the first, second, third, fourth. It sells them at once. So it named this call. Let's go to the robots. When we go to the robot and we tap trade settings, it has a word saying call position take profit ratio. Call position take profit callback. Are you seeing that word? Then it has a word distributed and take profit allocation. Sub position take profit callback. I want you to look at those 4 words. Understand them. What is the whole position? Let's get back here to our book. Whole position, the robot says that when you enter the market and the robot starts to buy margin calls, the first 4 margin calls, I count them as 1. Even if the robot buys 4 margin calls, it will never sell them unless it sells them at once with the first buying amount. If you entered the trade with $100, then you started buying margin calls with the $50 4 times. That's how much? $300, right? So it will count that I have invested $300 in whole. That's why in settings it is saying, sir, what is the whole position take profit ratio? Which ratio? How much profits should I take on the first 5 buys? The first buying amount at the first. When you enter the trade, that money you enter the trade with, that's number one. That's not a margin call. That's the first buying amount. Oguze, you oyingida akatale ne $15. Then the market drops, the robot buys margin call. That's why whenever it buys, it shows you that, sir, I have bought a margin call. When it buys the second time, it tells you. Third time, it tells you. Margin calls means I have bought. The market went down and I bought. So the first 4 margin calls, it counts them as 1 plus the first buying amount. So some people say, when you're setting your margin calls, if you have 1,000 as your capital, the half of the money, put it in the whole. Bidi robot as 1. If you have 1,000, put the 500 in whole. Other people say, put 20 in whole. See, if I have $1,000, I put $200 in whole. So that means when the robot enters with $15 first buying amount, then it starts to buy margin calls. The margin calls, by the time the 4 margin calls are done, it had invested $200. Now, what's the $800? It is going to back me up in the rest of the margin calls. Other people say 40%. That 40% of the money, if I have $1,000, the $400 should be invested in the whole. Then the 600, my backup. Let's get back to here. So that's why the robot is asking, whole position, take profit ratio. How much money should I take? How much percentage should I take as profits from the first 4 buys? Then you tell the robot, take 2. That's why the signals tell us, buy cover, take 10%. There's a signal which has come. You see it? By the way, let me give you a trick. Whenever they give a signal of 10%, you take 5. You put 5. Why? You are going to get out of the market fast. Take the 5, be early, enjoy your business, go home, work. The 10 guys, wait for them to race. When they give a signal for 3%, take 1.5 or 2. You will enjoy the business more than anybody else. The problem is people want more profits. People are greedy. Katolia uli dalanga babaga basigino ya 3% yena taking at 2. Alabida dala afiwa. They are saying they are losing. What are you losing? Are you the owner of the market? What if it goes down? Then you cry for us in the group. When the market is red, the whole group is cold. No one is saying anything. When the market is green, everybody is happy, but they are never posting. You people get changers. At least show us some emotion. Either when you are greedy or you are scared. Tell us something. You get it? So whole position, is it understandable now? Whole position take profit ratio are the first 4 margin calls. Now, the rest from 50th, 6th, 7th up to infinity, they are counted independently. That's when the robot decides to start buy and sell. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Category guess. It only starts to sell independently on the 6th, on the 50th, rather, on the 50th. Robot will say, let me start selling independently. That's why it has settings saying distributed and take profit allocation. You get the point? Distributed and take profit allocation. And when you tap here, it has a different take profit per margin call. Because here you can decide that on the 50th margin call, my robot take just 1%. But on the 10th margin call, my dear, I want 10%. On the 9th margin call, take 9%. On the 8th margin call, take 5%. Each buy is independent. That's why we tell people have margin calls. Why? You are going to get the same coin, but in different time frames. You are making profits in different time frames. Like it is as if you are trading 10 coins. Let me tell you, when you have margin calls, the first 4 are bought. From the 50th to the 10th, let's assume you have 10 margin calls. It is as if you have 10 trades. because the robot is buying and selling independently. Am I communicating, friends? And by the way, we are going to end here. Our time is bad. Let's end here. We are going to proceed tomorrow from here. The main tomorrow we are going to look at how do you set these settings? How do you do them according to your capital? However, the first person you should listen to when setting these things is your leader, the person who gave you the link to register the business. Okay? Because he has a better plan for you according to your capital. So tomorrow we are going to look at how do you set these things according to your capital. People have different capital. Someone is having $500, someone is having 1,000, someone is having 10,000. The question is, how do you do it according to your capital? So we have ended here. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at how for sure you can put your trade settings right according to your capital. Hope I've communicated something. Have we learned something, friends? Have we learned something? Have we learned something?
Yes, leader. We have learned a lot. Yeah.
Anyone with a question, ask something I have told them. Don't ask something beyond which we haven't talked about. Let's use these 12 minutes for asking questions. Boy, now you can ask a question and I answer it. Anyone with a question? Okay, no one with a question, eh? My advice would be, leaders, let's attend these trainings. We are very rich on our team. Someone who registered us doesn't know settings. Hey, some people who registered us don't know settings. Now, if people who registered you into the business don't know these settings, my advice would be, do one thing. Come to these YouTube channels, learn. We have very rich YouTube channels. We have a YouTube channel called Royal Q Robot Game Changers. We have a YouTube channel called MRD Crypto Trader. We have a YouTube channel called Crypto Ambassadors. All those have the information you need. So if the person who introduced you the business is an amateur, don't worry. Go and become an expert on our YouTube. It is having all the information you need. And they post daily there. I only use 4 margin calls in my capital. That's very good. That's very good. Hey, that is very good. As long as, and now these things of trading, the point is simple. The point is very simple. Practice. When you learn something, practice it. Go and put those settings, go and practice them. Go and put those settings, go and practice them. Go and put those settings, go and practice them. You will never suffer in this market. Never, ever. Are you getting the point? You will never suffer in this market. You'll be enjoying as others are crying. Eh? Keep learning, keep learning. That's the main point. So friends, thank you so much for attending today. I'm seeing a lot of people. Thank you so much for attending. We are going to have these trainings daily. We have decided, whatever the case, we want to skyrocket it up. On 27th this month, we have an event. I want you to buy a nice outfit. If you're a lady out there, nice, nicest. Isn't it so? Buy the best dress on that day. Let us be there in time. We are going to have a super duper event. Make sure you come with a friend. You get it? Daily, we are going to have trainings here every single day. 8:30 mentorship training, 10 a.m. general training, 9 p.m. in the night, we are going to have a presentation always. All these trainings are recorded. The moment, make sure they attend on the YouTube channels and they watch these recorded videos. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending. Have a good saying leader MRD. Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much, Papa, for coming. I was seeing Madame Harriet. I think she's out of class now. Otherwise, see you at the top. So I haven't understood anything, or because I entered a little late. Don't get time and inbox from. Don't inbox me. Come to YouTube. YouTube, this training is going to be there. I'll put the link in the group. Thank you so much. Have a good day.